institution of the first space state Asgardia in the history of mankind and the sign of the head of nation of Asgardia are brought to the stage.
We're happy to welcome all the Asgardians. Wir heißen alle Bewohner Asgardiens herzlich willkommen. Benvenuti a tutti Asgardiani. Betamomia a Huilia Asgardia, hoche amat miguim. Nous sommes heureux d'accueillir tous les Asgardiens. Bienvenidos Asgardianos. Мы рады приветствовать всех асгардианцев.
However, not all the space guests were able to attend the event today. The cosmonaut, Oleg Artemyev, sent his compliments right from the board of International Space Station.
Good afternoon, dear Igor. Good afternoon, dear guests of the first ever inauguration of the first in human history space nation, Asgardia. I am Oleg Artemyev, cosmonaut on board this International Space Station. I am sending my greetings to you today from space. Thank you for inviting me to this extraordinary event. As you can see, we couldn't not stop by Vienna today, but I didn't want to miss it. I am very happy I found a way to join you from space. Inauguration of the first head of Space Kingdom, Asgardia, Dr. Igor Ashubeli, is a historic global event. For us, space travelers from all parts of the world, Asgardia is a futuristic vision of the future of the humankind. Here on the ISS, we live in weightlessness. Today it is unavoidable in space travel. Asgardia, habitable Earth will have artificial gravity. This is a necessary step in development of space technologies to make human life in space comfortable. Asgardia is a united supranational space state open to all people on Earth. one humanity, one unity. Our sincere congratulations on this magnificent occasion. See you on Earth and in Asgardia.
And now we invite the head of parliament of Asgardia, Mr. Lembit Opik, to the stage. The head of justice of Asgardia, Mr. Yun Chao, is also invited to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask everyone to stand up and welcome the first head of space nation of Asgardia in the history of mankind, Igor Ashurbeili. Please be seated. The solemn oath of the head of the first space nation is sworn to the head of parliament, Mr. Lembit Opik.
Сегодня, вступая
Today, as I accede to the position as the head of nation of the space kingdom of Asgardia, I solemnly swear to be faithful to the spirit and the letter of the Constitution of Asgardia and to be the guarantor of its observance, to protect the rights and freedoms of Asgardians, to protect the sovereignty, cohesiveness and independence of Asgardia and to serve its people.
The solemn oath of the head of the first space nation, Asgardia, in the history of mankind has been accepted. Congratulations.
The head of justice lays the sign of the head of nation on the shoulders of Igor Ashurbeili.
The inauguration of Igor Ashurbeili as the head of the first nation of Asgardia in the history of mankind is completed. Congratulations.
The national anthem of Asgardia is played. All please rise. Please be seated. The solemn speech of the head of the first space nation of Asgardia in the history of mankind, Igor Ashurbeili, is being given.
Asgardians, dear members of parliament, diplomats, guests, and mass media representatives. This day will certainly be recorded in the annals of the greatest events in the history of humankind. Just 20 months have passed since the announcement was made of the creation of Asgardia. And now it's no longer just an idea. On the contrary, now there are some 200,000 Asgardians in more than 200 countries of the world. We have our own territory on the Asgardia 1 satellite, a constitution, a flag, an anthem, a coat of arms, and our own calendar. The parliament has been elected as well as its speaker, the chief justice, and acting prime minister have been appointed. The elected head of nation has just been inaugurated. We have thus established all branches of nation, and now I can therefore declare with confidence that Asgardia, the first space nation of the united humankind, has been born. And no matter what happens in the future, the greatness of this very first moment will never be forgotten. In the next few months, we will need to form the cabinet of ministers and elect heads of parliamentary committees and members of the court. We will also need to assemble the Prosecutor General Office and the National Audit Office and the Supreme Space Council, and complete recruitment for the administration of the head of nation. Other important milestones will be the establishment of the national bank and the introduction of a national currency. All of this needs to be completed by the end of the year. This is truly space velocity. Asgardia's mission for the time frame of the next 25 years is to make significant progress in the following three strategic areas. First, science, engineering, and infrastructure. Second, national building and economic development. Third, philosophy, ideology, and space politics. So firstly, in the area of science and engineering. Asgardia will build an infrastructure that is independent from ground-based systems on Earth. Asgardians will carry handheld devices with integrated passports, credit cards, and conventional smartphones. A network of low Earth orbit satellites will be deployed, delivering global internet coverage. Core satellites will be placed on high Earth orbit, providing a full range of digital state services to Asgardian citizens and businesses, as well as free access to space technologies for Earthlings, regardless of their nationality on Earth and how advanced their nation are in terms of technology and economy. Space arcs will be deployed, providing permanent resistance to humans in outer space, in environment or of artificial gravity, and protection from space radiation, thus enabling human reproduction. Asgardia will possess a space fleet to defend humanity and planet Earth from threats emanating from outer space. Satellites will orbit the moon, and stationary settlements will be established on both the moon's orbit and its surface. Secondly, in terms of national building, Asgardia will achieve recognition as an independent space state by means of bilateral agreements with as many states on Earth as possible, as well as accession to international organizations, both intergovernmental and non-governmental on Earth, and ultimately to the United Nations. It will open its embassies on all continents. The population of Asgardia will grow to comprise 2% of the most creative individuals on Earth, which is equivalent to approximately 150 million people, making Asgardia one of the 12 largest countries in terms of population and one of the top 12 economies on Earth. However, the economy of Asgardia will focus specifically and exclusively on delivering value and well-being to its citizens, protecting its national sovereignty, and pursuing its science and technology space program. And finally, in terms of Asgardia's philosophy, ideology, and space politics. Unfortunately, the entire history of civilization on Earth has demonstrated that humanity continues to move in a perpetual spiral of bloody wars and competitions for territory and resources, and cannot break out of this vicious circle. The seemingly neutral term geopolitics is applied to describe this, but in reality, the fundamental principle of geopolitics is that might is right, while might is based on advanced weaponry and control of resources. Outer space may well suffer the same future. However, by uniting in Asgardia, the progressive part of humanity can offer the whole civilization on Earth an alternative by replacing geopolitics with space politics, and thereby open up a path to a new spiral of development. Outer space is endless, and space exploration will give Homo sapiens an opportunity to become immortal as a species, not by means of an endless arms race, but through an infinite expansion of the human race into the universe, where there is enough room for everybody. In conclusion, I want to underscore that Asgardia is a truly avant-garde, technocratic, and futuristic state. But we call it Space Kingdom because first and foremost, Asgardia is a reflection of humanity's beautiful and ancient dream of a divine and peaceful land in heaven, a place that people have always striven so ardently to reach, a place where there is no pain or hatred, just love and joy. Isn't this romantic vision of the free human spirit more important than the pragmatism of our entire world on Earth? Isn't it beautiful? Of course, we are not the best, but we are the future. I hug each and every one of you. Thank you.
We invite the children's choir Neue Jugendchor to the stage. These children represent the future generation and what Asgardia stands for. The anthem of Asgardia will be played. Please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, the ceremonial part of the first head of space nation Asgardia in the history of mankind, Igor Ashurbeili, has come to an end. Thank you for being with us on this celebratory day and becoming part of history of establishment of Asgardia.